It's J. Marie. J. Marie. J. Marie. It's J. Marie. Relational rants. J. Marie. Relational rants. J. Marie. Relational rants. J. Marie. It's J. Marie. Relational rants. J. Marie. Relational. J. Marie. Relational. J. Marie. It's J. Marie. Relational rants.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. It is J. Marie unmuted. Relational rants. Hey y'all. You know what? I don't know about my lighting right now. It's like, yeah. So I really don't have anything to talk about. But I'm here because I went out tonight. Obviously, I'm dressed. Look at my nails. Look at my nails. Okay. I got my nails done. I was in a hurry. And so I knew what color I wanted. And then the girl that does my nails, she was just hurrying up. She was like, but she asked me what other color I wanted. Anyway. So when she started doing it, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is giving Barbie. And she was like Malibu, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, Malibu Barbie is giving Saved by the Bell. Y'all see it. It's that high. I feel like I'm showing my age, but I don't care. It's also giving that soft cup. I mean, not soft cup, that fountain drink. The cup. Fountain drink cup. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's also giving LA gear, okay? Look, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you probably, I want to say you're too young to be watching my podcast, but psych, not really. All are welcome here. All are welcome. Because why? It's all things relational. Okay? All right. So anyway, I went out and I was like, look, you should maybe record a podcast episode because you're cute. You're cute, but nothing makes you look at every imperfection like recording yourself. That's been an interesting journey to try to get over and get past. No one is more hard on themselves than yourself. We critique ourselves really, really, really hard. Sometimes you just gonna have to get over it. You're just gonna have to jump out there and push yourself. I like to call out sometimes my when I come on here, my eyelashes looking a little wobbly. I like to call attention to it because, let's address it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, it's better that you address it and take control of it, get ahead of it, so somebody else can. Tonight, I went to an interesting event. Actually, I've been out for the last 3 nights and I'm tired. I didn't even want to go. And I went to support and it was cool. It was a cool little event. It's kind of nice sometimes supporting people businesses, and supporting people events that aren't super big. I think sometimes it's good to be supported when you're taking risks and you're trying to promote yourself, you're trying to provide a service, an event, and a lot of planning goes into that, even if everything doesn't go smoothly. There's a lot of planning that still goes into those things. And part of becoming more skilled at something is actually doing it. Practicing, actually. You gotta practice so you can figure out the kinks. And you can't figure out kinks if you're not actually trying to do the thing that you're trying to do. We often want things to be perfect, but part of perfecting something literally is doing it over and over and over again, right? Hopefully, each time you get better at it. That's the key. And that got me thinking, because what? Of course, that's all I do is think, overthink, analyze, process, reflect. And it made me think about this thing that this conversation, actually, I should say, that I had with my client earlier this week. And we were talking about helping people out, supporting people, and that sometimes you can feel guilty when you don't necessarily want to continue to lend a helping hand. It can make you grow resentment too, because particularly when you're someone that also has experienced a similar background, you have some shared experiences, to be honest, around trauma and stuff like that. We often call someone who's been able to gain some level of stability for themselves or even a level of success, we often talk about survivor's remorse. When people go to the NBA or when someone becomes an artist, like even with recently it was Glorilla and her sister, there's probably still a level that Glorilla goes through of what people call survivor's remorse. Now, I don't call it that. Because why? Because that's me. But I definitely call it, and maybe, I don't know, remorse and guilt are different. They're different, slightly. Because I think remorse is when you take responsibility. So let's separate this out a little bit. Guilt is when you've done something wrong, if you feel like you've done something wrong. Remorse is you've done something wrong and then you've taken a level of ownership around the behavior, right? You have some level of remorse, some regret that you've done the thing that you've done. Now, that's why I separate out survivor's remorse versus survivor's guilt. Because guilt is kind of just feeling like you've done something wrong. Guilt can be appropriate and it can be inappropriate. It can be applicable to the situation and it could not be. We call that misplaced guilt. So that's what I call it, like survivor's guilt. And so many trauma survivors suffer from misplaced guilt, just an excessive amount of guilt, particularly if they're doing well for themselves. I mean, and I'm talking about just stable. When I was talking to this client, she's very much just a stable person in her family. And she was explaining sometimes helping out makes her feel like she's been taken advantage of. I think we've all been in that situation, right? Where we're helping someone out or we're doing something and we feel like we're being taken advantage of. And I told her in the moment, I was like, I really think it's not that you're mad that this person is taking advantage of you. I'm like, I think that you're actually upset because they're not taking advantage. They're taking, but not to the advantage, right? Of change, of doing something different. Because if we're helping someone, if we're providing support, I mean, it's natural that we would want to see the results of that. And it's not that this is transactional, but we want to see that, right? We help somebody out. We want to kind of see, we want to be able to visually see our investment has, in a sense, paid off. Okay, now that language is a little, but I'm just saying that's the reality of it. That's why we give people advice. We don't like when we give people advice and they don't take it. Don't ask me for my advice and you ain't gonna take it. That's how we kind of feel. Even if we say, I'm just saying what I'll do, or whatever it is, but hey, you do you. I support you. Whatever you decide to do. But what we really feel in the inside is, are you gonna take my advice? We can respect that they may or may not, but we're upset that people don't take advantage. Actually, some people, we can build a resentment towards that because it's like I keep extending myself, right? I keep kind of loaning out something. And what's crazy is a lot of times what we're loaning out isn't necessarily money or even like advice or whatever the case may be. What we're actually loaning out is our stability and typically our regulation. Right? We're helping you regulate something. We're helping you take care of something. We're helping you stabilize something. And there's a lot of people that, it's a natural human tendency to stabilize in proximity to someone who is also stable, or who is stable, I should say. That's not a foreign thing. We have this skill, right? Because we're like, well, I have it, or I achieved it, or we feel obligated to support people who don't take advantage of the opportunities that are given to them. And we continue to give and give and give, and we get upset and upset and upset. And we critique ourselves and we hold ourselves to impossible standards because guess what? No one is a never ending vessel of care. It's not a reality, okay? We can't just infinitely give and give and give of ourselves. When I flipped it like that, it also goes back to something I talk a lot about on here: responsibility. Do you have the ability to respond appropriately? If someone is offering you support, someone is helping you out, do you have the ability to respond and take advantage actually of the support that they're providing you, or whatever it is, right? And it kind of goes back too to some of the stuff I was talking about around updating yourself. You can't keep asking someone to support you, understand you, consider you, and you're not updating. You're not integrating that information. You're not utilizing it, taking advantage of it to do something else. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know even how I got there. That was an eye-opening moment for me, because the other thing we were talking about was just we use empathy sometimes to explain away people's behavior. I understand we put ourselves in their shoes. And the thing about empathy sometimes is we limit how far we actually go down the empathy route. Okay. I'm the type of person where I often say I'm going to step into somebody else's logic or someone else's reality. I'm going to step into your reality, which is really empathy. It's empathy. It's probably more of a cognitive empathy sometimes instead of emotional. Let's carry out this thing all the way through. Because what we do sometimes when we guilt ourselves is that, oh, I know how it was like. I know how it's like not to get support. I know what it's like to go without. I know what it's like to fall on hard times. We'll say all of these things. We know how it's like. What we don't do is actually continue on that journey of if you were actually in the shoes of that other person. So I told my client, you would be taking advantage. You would be utilizing it to further yourself, to further your goal in terms of building something for yourself, right? So that's what you would actually be doing. But we stop at that part for some reason. We stop at the part of understanding, but we don't carry it all the way through of, if I was in that position, this is all the things I would actually do. It's interesting that we stop there, but we do that with a lot of stuff. We don't carry it all the way through. We just stop at what we want to stop at to reinforce what we think is kind of the right thing. Sometimes it's not even just what we think. We'll stop at what we think of who we are. Well, I'm a generous person. And so again, you won't take the steps all the way through to be like, yo, you still are generous. If you have given chance after chance after chance after chance, you've already demonstrated that you are a generous person. There's no need to continuously prove yourself. And I think that's sometimes what we get caught in when we are talking about these kind of complex relationships where they're not reciprocal in nature, or they're imbalanced, a significant imbalance in the dynamic. We will just, you know, we would use guilt as a way to explain away how the relational dynamic is really impacting us. So it's just something I noticed too in relationships, that there's often a lot of guilt. We use guilt as a mechanism of control often. Relational dynamics are often like that, where it's, well, you didn't call me, or you must not mess with me, or you must not, oh, you blah 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 blah. We'll say all these types of things to make people feel bad for the way we want them to show up in relationships when they're not showing up in the way that we want them to. So, yeah, that's just been a thing this week. That's been a thing this week for me. Reflecting back to my episode about poop in the pool, about regulation, about us taking care of our own emotional world. What are we actually feeling? What is actually ours to be what? Responsible for? We have to demonstrate that we have the ability to respond appropriately to the things that we claim that we want, or the things that we accept, or, the commitments that we hold. All of those things. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff I can go into, but I'm always going to be talking about that. So anyway, I wanted to get on here real quick because I just felt myself. I was like, oh, you cute. Go ahead and record something. I really wasn't going to take it there. I didn't think that's where we were going, but hey, that was what was on my week. That's what I dealt with this week. And I love that I learned that lesson. If you're my friend and I can provide you something, I want you to take advantage of that. I want you to take advantage of it. I want to see that too. I would love to see that as well, or feel it, because we always don't have to see. We can feel it. Okay. And maybe we'll get into a little bit about that too. All right. Because wisdom doesn't always come from here. It comes from this, right? And I've been learning that too, about the wisdom of felt experience. So maybe we'll talk about that one day soon too. All right. But anyway, look, yeah, this is the weird part because who is you, girl? Who is you? But follow me, like, subscribe, comment, engage, please. Like, do y'all find some of my topics interesting? What do y'all think? I would love to know. I would appreciate the support. I would love to take advantage of your support. And keep leveling up. Okay. I want you to know that I'm gonna utilize your support responsibly. Okay. So follow me on Instagram at jmarie I'm on TikTok. I'm still questionable about TikTok. But I'm on TikTok at jmarie unmuted. Okay. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. Okay. I'm on the places you find your podcast, I guess. But please, okay, I don't know. Just humor me. Humor me a little bit, please. That's off the riff. Off the riff. I'm off from there. Yo, but look, these are gonna be J. Marie relational rants after dark. Relational rants after dark. Okay. So when you see this little sexy, if that's what you want to call it, with my bookcase in the background. On my psychotherapy, and then my Adventures of an Awkward Black Girl. I got an OCD book right there. Okay, y'all see what I be on. Y'all see what I be on. Okay, this is my office. This is what I do. This is what I do my work at. This is where I heal. This is where I podcast. This is where I keep myself on track. If you come in my office, you'll see all of my affirmations, all my reminders, my vision boards. Like, I don't just be telling people to do it. I actually do it. I walk the walk and talk the talk. Talking, unmuted, J. Marie. Okay, relational rants. I'm trying to remember myself. No, that's something like I see you. I hear you. And thanks for being here with me. There's another part of that, but I guess it don't matter anymore because I can never remember it. But I see you, I hear you. Thanks for being here with me. It's J. Marie, relational rants. And until next time, I'm out.
It's J. Marie, relational rants.